You can turn it down on your little box.
There you go. Welcome to Talk Oxford, the show that gets Oxfordshire talking. Be sure to get involved with the show as we go along tonight. You can tweet us on @That'sOxfordTV, email us at talk@that'soxford.com, or find us on Facebook. We look forward to hearing from you. So tonight, joining me in the studio is Christina Rode and Ellen Meek from Pint of Science. Thank you for joining me tonight, ladies.
Thank you.
So, first of all, because I was intrigued by the name, Pint of Science. What exactly is Pint of Science?
So Pint of Science is a volunteer organisation trying to bring together scientists in a setting of a pub with the public. So the idea is to invite local researchers, local scientists into pubs and then have people come in and listen to their research.
So it's a bit more of instead of a lecture. Is it a lecture and a pint?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
yeah.
brilliant.
Or it's more of a talk because, you know, people can ask questions, they can discuss things, so it's less formal than that. That's why when they set up Pint of Science, how long ago was it now?
That was actually today is the 3rd year anniversary.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
congratulations.
3 years ago they wanted to think of a way that people could come and find out about what's going on in science land in a more informal way, really.
Yeah.
So that's where they sort of brought it into the pub, and yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
So the founders, they were postgrad doctoral students, postdoctoral students, and they decided to have a meet and greet between the academic scientists and some people that may or may not be interested. And at some point they realized that people are actually really interested in listening what scientists have to say. So they continued doing these, and these events have now increased. Pint of Science will be happening next week, so from the 18th to the 20th of May, in the evenings. And they're happening all over the world. In 8 different countries and in around 50 cities. So this is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And all of these events are happening at the same time. The setting is in the evening, so after work you come in, have a pint and listen to some amazing talks.
Ah,
So,
in a very laid-back environment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, brilliant. What about you guys personally? What made you want to get involved in such a thing?
I personally strongly believe in public engagement for science. So I think this is something that, for example, the media is sometimes twisting the facts a little bit, in my opinion. So to actually bring people together and enhance this interaction, I think that's quite important. So that's why I got involved last year. I was one of the events organisers, like Ellen. And this year I took on the role to organise the entire Oxford events and have a team of amazing people.
Nice, yeah.
Who basically have the same idea, want to bring out the same ideas to the public and get them engaged. So.
Right, and is that the same for you as well, Ellen?
Yeah, I find it's a great way of meeting people that are doing really amazing research and things like that, and you wouldn't necessarily get to meet them in your day-to-day life. So actually volunteering for Pint of Science, as well as having the benefit of getting loads of amazing science out there so that people can engage with it and chat to the researchers about what they're doing, it also means me personally, I get to, you know, share a pint with them, build a relationship, ask them loads of stupid questions about their research, things like that. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and also there's a really good team of people, so it's a great way of sort of meeting people in Oxford and stuff like that. So yeah.
Oh, great. And Christina, you mentioned there about public engagement in science. Why do you think that is so important, to get the public engaged in science?
I think from what I hear is that people seem to think that scientists are this mystical creature that hides in laboratories and do some weird experiments that no one knows about. But in fact, we're just normal people who are just really interested in getting to know the background of, say, biology or physics and other subjects, and just to trying to see how all these things work. And I think that's basically to tell people that these we are also people and we're quite friendly.
Yeah. And like a drink.
Yeah.
And like a drink.
And what do you think, Ellen, about it all?
So I think, like Chrissy says, it's really sort of great for people to have the opportunity to engage with all the exciting stuff that's happening and not have it's sort of this perceived barrier that it's all too complicated, I'm not going to understand it, it might be a bit boring. So when you can get these really great speakers, like we've got some fantastic researchers that are really good at explaining their science and things like that and making it really exciting, because it is exciting. So it's just a way of people finding out what's going on in the lab, really. And also taxes pay for science, so it's a way of sort of giving back to the people that actually sort of pay for a lot of the stuff that's done.
Yeah, oh, brilliant. Well, thanks for talking about it. We're going to talk about it again later
sure.
in a bit more detail as well, because I'm fascinated, mainly about the shirts.
Yeah.
I'm loving
have
these.
one now.
Yeah, I know, I've got my own one, souvenir, so thanks. But now I want to talk to you more about success or happiness. What's more important to you? Because in the week so far we've had Kevin Peterson, I'm not sure if you know, cricketer.
Yeah.
He's one of the best cricketers England have got, but he's not allowed back into the England side because they've said that he's detrimental to the squad, he's disruptive, and not many of the team trust him. So then they're saying it's going to affect team morale. But if he was in the team, it's more than likely that we would do better in the competitive sport. So what's more important to you, a happy team or a successful team?
Oh, that's tricky, isn't it? Because isn't there a lot of, by no means know anything about this, but isn't there a lot of sort of sports psychology and things like that? So you could say a happy team is a successful team, and if people are unhappy, they might not perform as well. So it's tricky to know from a success in sports point of view, which is more important.
Yeah.
I guess there's a thin balance as well. So if the team doesn't trust one player, for example, then the whole team will be disrupted, and therefore their game won't be as good as before. So maybe it's actually counterintuitive.
Maybe, but like taking the sports side away from it, surely shouldn't they be saying he's a professional, his job, and all the team's job is to play cricket? I'm not sure about you guys, but maybe in your field of work you might have had to work with people you don't get on with, but you're professionals, you have to work together, surely. Have you ever had that, where you've not got on with someone but had to work with them? Not naming names?
I've been very lucky, actually. Yeah, I've not really had to encounter that. I mean, like as a team, as Pint of Science as a team, we all get on really well because we all share the same interests, and it's been really great meeting everyone and things like that. So, yeah, I think if you take the sports out of it, maybe you do have to try to. You were saying you don't like the phrase "get along" earlier, weren't you?
The phrase "getting on" being a bit philosophical now, I think.
Let's get deep.
Yeah.
But basically, getting along or getting on, it already says it that you go forward. So in a professional setting, I think that's the main thing, that you move on with things, even if you may or may not be clicking with someone as well. And I think that just happens not just professionally, but also with friendships. With some people, you just have a better relationship than with others, and there's different degrees of this. So I think if people can try to be professional, they should be able to do their job. So in a sports context, going back to your example, maybe in that case there should be a stronger professional level applied. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
If it's causing such an uproar.
Thank you. Thanks for answering that question on what you weren't too sure about the Kevin Peterson interview.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're
not
see what happens. But thank you. And so what about Pint of Science? Have you made some friendships from that because you're all so like-minded?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, we actually just met this year. So when I was recruiting last November for teams of people to organise the separate events, then I met Ellen, and it just went from there, and we've had so far a very pleasant professional relationship.
I mean, the first meeting was great because obviously we had that in a pub, and then one of the guys that's helping out this year, I found out, so I'm from the Midlands, and he went to the school down the road from me in the Midlands, and we're both now in Oxford, and I was like, oh, that's amazing. So we've, like, it's sort of, I've met some old and new friends.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
And do you do social events outside of the Pint of Science? Do you go and do other things together?
We haven't so far because it has been a very busy
We've
time.
been so busy.
Work-wise and to do this because, as I said, it's a volunteering job.
Yeah.
So we all do this in our free time because we're quite very passionate about this. So it has been quite difficult, but I've already suggested to Ellen that after the events are over next week, we're definitely going to meet up.
Yeah, we're going
to
to celebrate.
Hopefully that we had success.
Yeah.
During the event.
Well, we've already sold out some of the events, haven't we?
We certainly have,
yeah.
and they're selling like hot cookies.
That's great. If people do want to find out what events are happening and where you are, how do they go about doing that?
So if you go to pintofscience.co.uk and then go and look for Oxford,
Okay.
and then you have a whole list of events. The events that say are sold out, they are, so the tickets are gone. But I would maybe encourage, if you're really passionate about one topic and really want to find out, then turn up on the night and see if there are some people maybe haven't turned up or some spare seats left, so to sneak in and listen to them. It's definitely worth doing.
Yeah, because we've got 3 themes running for the 3 days, so there's going to be 3 pubs involved. So we've got the Atoms to Galaxies theme, which I am helping with. We've got the Our Body theme, and we've also got the Beautiful Mind theme, which is about the brain, basically. So
psychology, neurology, all of this.
Brilliant. Well, we're going to talk about those in more detail in a bit later. But for now, we've just got to shoot off to a break.
Okay.
Then we'll be back. So don't forget, you can get involved with the show tonight. You can tweet us on @that'soxfordtv, email us at talk@that'soxford.com, or find us on Facebook. We look forward to hearing from you. Welcome back to Talk Oxford, the show that gets Oxfordshire talking. So we're joined tonight by Christina and Ellen from Pint of Science. Thanks for staying and not running off in the break. Appreciate that. So now what we want to talk about is success for kids. I say that because an 11-year-old American girl this week has been crowned the chess world champion at the age of 11.
wow.
So I was reading this like, wow, what was the proudest thing I ever did when I was 11? Like get a high score on Tetris. I'm like, yeah, come on. But what's the proudest moment you guys had when you were 11? Or that age, young?
Yeah. So I think this is a really lame achievement, but I was very proud at the
As
time.
bad as Tetris.
Yeah, it's I think it's more lame than that.
Okay.
So I was in a library quiz when I was in school, and we won the West Midlands finals, answering questions about books, because that's how much of a nerd I am.
Sounds fantastic.
Yeah, it was awesome. We had our photo in the paper and everything.
So you're basically a celebrity.
Oh yeah.
You're a big deal
People
in the
ask me for
Midlands.
autographs in West Midlands all the time.
What actually happens in a library quiz?
I can't really remember.
Just who can stay quietest the longest.
And the best thing was that we were an all-girl team, so it was like girl power.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think they ask you questions about books. I can't really remember. I think it's like, who wrote this book? I don't remember. I was very proud though.
It's obviously stuck in your memory.
Yes.
Like, I have no idea
Yeah.
what. Just drunk on fame now.
Yeah.
No idea what's going on.
I got what I wanted out of it. I got my photo in the local paper.
Yes, living the dream.
Yeah.
How about for you,
absolutely.
Christine?
I think for me, I've been thinking about, because there's obviously various degrees of success, right? But I think the one that kind of sticks out, I'm a bit of an artist on the side,
Okay.
and I've entered a local competition when I was, I think, 13. And I was chosen within the first top 5. And we had an exhibition in a small gallery, so to put up your paintings and drawings there. And my parents came along, and all sorts of different other people. So I thought that was a pretty nice moment.
Nearly as good as the library quiz.
Yeah, I was going to say that's way better than mine.
Did you get your face in the paper though?
I did, yeah.
Can't even beat it on that.
Sorry.
It's supposed to say no and just make it feel good.
No,
Yeah,
I didn't.
Good.
I believe you.
We'll discuss later.
Yeah.
Also, something that's been in the spotlight recently as well is competition with kids. And some people are saying they're too young, they shouldn't have to fight amongst each other to try and win things.
Yeah.
But then others are saying, well, it's a cruel world out there. As soon as they leave school, they're immediately in competition, whether that be for a job or a course or a uni degree. What do you think about that? Should kids be in competition from the off?
Tricky question, but I think it does seem like things have got a bit ridiculous in some ways, because like you have sports days where there's no winners, even though they've all run a race. Everyone, although actually, to be fair, when I was a kid, everyone did get a sticker, but at least some people got first, second and third. Now I think it's just like, well done for being in the race. I don't know, I don't have kids, but I think that there's a reluctance to say you're better than so-and-so and things like that. So yeah, I think you have to be careful though, because it could be really discouraging for some children if they, I don't know, keep coming last in a race or something like that. So I think there has to be a balance, really. But I'm quite competitive, so I probably would say competition is okay.
What about in sports days? How did you get on?
Oh, badly. I'm not competitive in sports, so I'm basically only competitive in stuff that I know that I'm good at, like library quizzes.
Good choice, yeah.
And then anything that I know that I'm not good at, I'm like, oh, it's stupid. I don't think that anyone should do this sport because I can't do it. So
One of those. Okay.
Yeah, one of those people, I'm afraid.
And what about you, Christine?
I think competition, to some extent, it's very good, and I think, as you said before, it teaches children from a young age that you're not going to get given or handed anything on a silver platter. You have to work for it. And I think that's actually quite a fairly decent kind of introduction into the life.
Yeah, to the real world.
Yeah.
And behind every child is a parent. Some pushy, some not. Do you think pushy parents are a good thing or a bad thing?
It's so difficult to answer because it depends on the individual child and the individual parent. So I know that some children, if they're pushed, will do the opposite of what their parents want them to do. So it can be counterproductive anyway. And then I don't think you want to put too much pressure on them so that it's upsetting. But there must be situations where just a little bit of like positive encouragement rather than like you must do this and you must win. Like, oh, you're good at this. Maybe you might want to think about doing it some more.
Yeah, pushing him in the right direction.
Gentle, nudging, not pushing.
Yeah, I actually agree. There is a fine line between being too pushy and being encouraging. I can only say I have amazing parents that have always supported me, and I think also going back to being proud of something, I think they're more proud of me rather than me being proud of myself. So
that's a good start.
Getting sloppy now, but
if you're watching.
Yeah.
I also love my parents. I just thought I'd get that in there. You're making me look bad.
Sorry. Disclaimer.
Yeah.
Disclaimer indeed.
How did your parents have a big influence in you getting an interest in science, or did that just come naturally to you?
Actually, no. It was a funny story. I was, I think, 4 or 5 years old, and we were driving past sewers company or compound or whatever it's called, and I was just wondering what this was, and my parents said, oh, so this is where polluted water gets processed. And I said, oh, so do they just go in with goggles and like a spoon and look through bacteria and stuff? Yeah. I don't think I said bacteria at the time because I didn't know what it was. And now, me being a scientist now, I think my parents have now taken this as the first step when I first became interested in science. So.
They claimed it like, yes!
That was us.
Yeah.
Exactly, so who knows?
Yeah. Claim it. And what about for you, Ellen?
Yeah, I think my parents always, if I asked why, which I did a lot, they would sort of try and find out for me or like tell me interesting things, and so I think they never got fed up with my questioning nature, which I think later translated into being really interested in science because I always want to know why. I think if they'd been very dismissive and gone, oh, stop asking why all the time, instead of like finding out stuff for me and, you know, explaining things, then I probably wouldn't be so excited about science.
So would you just say that you're really nosy?
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to be a journalist.
Yeah.
Always like, why?
Yeah.
And Mum's like, shh.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I won't shush. I want to find out.
Yeah.
So we're just nosy people.
Yeah.
But look, good things come from nosiness.
Exactly. Pint of Science.
Exactly. And now also another thing that I read in the news which made me go, wow, is a farmer has rejected a building company's offer of £275 million for his land, which they wanted to develop housing on. And he said he's rejected it because if he did that, then it would diminish the joy that the public would get from the countryside. So a very admirable thing.
It is.
Would you have been able to do the same?
Oh gosh, I'd love to say yes.
Mm.
I'd love to say, oh no, I definitely turned down 275?
275 million.
That would be
money.
such a hard
But
decision.
then ask yourself, what would you do with all this money?
It's true, you couldn't spend all that money, could you?
I think
Yeah.
you need to kind of have a picture of what would you do with that. I think,
Yeah.
before. But I agree, I don't know what I would have done, because I think you need to be in that situation, right?
Yeah.
And it's the circumstance, if he was in any sort of financial, well, obviously he wasn't, if he declined it, I guess,
Yeah.
right? But maybe he was just doing it for the greater good, whatever that means, so
Yeah.
it's very admirable.
Yeah, it's
What-
very, yeah.
What would
Very
you have
admirable.
done?
Yeah, very admirable. Yeah, what would you have
I
done?
was spending the 275 million in my
Yeah.
head. I was like,
Yeah.
oh. And then I ran out of things after
Oh,
about
right.
2 million.
Yeah,
I was
so
like,
you
I don't
don't need
know.
that much.
Don't know what you'd have done, but yeah. Do you think everything has a price?
Ooh.
It's so philosophical.
Yeah,
Yes.
very philosophical.
I think a price in this sense, it doesn't necessarily mean money, but I do think that things have a price, be it emotional, be it financial, be it anything else. So, and by that I mean everything has a consequence. So,
Ooh, I like that.
Right.
Very deep.
Twist it.
Yeah,
I like that,
very
yeah.
deep. Yeah.
What about you, Ellen?
Gosh, I don't know. I don't think I can give as good an answer as that.
thank you.
Yeah.
Your parents would be so proud.
Yeah.
I hope they are.
Gosh, I don't know. I think there have to be some lines somewhere. Like everything can't be for sale. So there's got to be some other things that you take into account other than the money. So, for example, that farmer's taken into account sort of the enjoyment that people get out of that area. So, I don't think everything has a price, but it must be really difficult to say no to large amounts of money.
Yeah.
Especially if you need the money. So yeah.
I can just imagine, like, he opens the curtains every morning, he's like,
Yeah.
at least the public are enjoying it.
Yeah.
As he's,
Or maybe he looks out and he sees £275 million worth of beautiful countryside
Yeah.
and thinks, oh, I'm glad it's outside my house.
I'm going to believe that one.
Yeah.
It's a nice one to think.
Yeah.
It's a very romantic one.
Brilliant. Okay, well, we're going to go to a break now.
Okay.
And after that, we'll come back and have a good chat about Pint of Science, and I might even
Great.
try the shirt on.
Yes, do.
That's the dream.
Do
I'll
it.
put it on the break.
Yeah.
Do it.
Okay,
Do it.
all right.
Yeah.
We need to stop now then, so I can
Yeah.
get it on. Okay.
Awesome.
So yeah, time for a short break, but don't forget you can get involved with the show tonight. You can tweet us on that's Oxford TV, email us at talk@that'soxford.com, or find us on Facebook. We look forward to hearing from you.